with animation or writing or, whatever you do, what is your favorite part of the process? Whether it be like maybe storyboarding or brainstorming or in between, maybe, I don't know who would ever like that.
That is correct. I think you mentioned things that are a lot of fun. Brainstorming, I remember all of us many of us getting together in a room where everybody was there, and we were writing putting a story together and we never did that, by the way. We never did gang things, but for Star Warner's, the final episode of the Pinky and the Brain series, where all the Warner Brothers animated characters did a Star Wars parody. Like, we got everybody in the studio to pitch in on that, which was a lot of fun. To be quite honest, the recording sessions are often the most fun, and there are so many laughs because people are trying to crack each other up. So those are awesome. Mixes are demanding, but you really see it all come together, and that can be magical.
I mean, there's something to be said. The moment of inception when you have a joke, and early on I was writing a lot with Tom and with Sherry, and I would sometimes be driving in and have a really funny idea for Tiny Toons, and it's like, that makes me funny. That makes me laugh, and I go in, and Sherry would be in the room, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna do this gag with Plucky, and it's really funny, and we're really laughing. We've got a great 7-minute short, and she'd say, okay, you write that one, I'll write the Babs one, and I'll go into my office, and it's like, oh shit, now I gotta write this thing. That's the hard thing, is like, I've mapped out all the gags, and now I've gotta go past the moment of inception and write, fade in, Acme Lou, Plucky is doing.
And honestly, a really meaningful, this is gonna sound brutally pandering, and I mean it. But having you folks care enough to come to these sorts of things or stop by the booth. After having done this work over the last 30 years, it is kind of rewarding meeting you, and we're very appreciative of the fact that you guys spent some time as kids watching it, and you show up. It's really nice.
Yeah.
I would go with the storyboarding, and there was a time like in Wacko's Wish, and the Warners are basically surfing on snow.
Yeah.
And I was Peak Dawn episode.
Yeah.
And my
Soupe Overture. Yeah.
Yeah, and my director, Greg Reyna, he came to me this one part where I did the Animaniacs going down the hall, and
Swirling.
and he goes, "How did you think of that?" And I go, "I don't know, it just happened."
That sequence that you boarded and Greg Reyna directed is, for my money, the best animated and musically satisfying sequence, certainly of that movie. It's fantastic, and the music it's amazing. I remember I went to Reyna after, and I said, "How'd you do it?" "Oh, nothing."
Seems like much buried history here, all this fun stuff. Moving from Fox to WB, dealing with the executives and all that. When you were all first collaborating all together, was there like something that was an instant hit that everyone was connecting with? Did people slowly form into this team?
There was a lot of hatred.
Okay, so was there a lot of team building, or was it just something that everyone was so?
We all got together. We had a great group of very talented artists and writers and musicians and voice artists working on Tiny Toons. Was the first of this gathering, and we had great budgets. We had a big giant executive producer. We had Warner Brothers Batman money to spend on it. It was really like the perfect circumstance.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was just sort of willed into being by, everybody's desire to see this type of animation happen again, and the money and the support to make it happen, which it comes down to. There'll always be cartoons, but they are what they are. Sometimes they're really good and they hit and everybody loves them. Sometimes they do, comes on for a season or two and then it goes, and it's filling the demand of what some executive wants, but with the Warner stuff, we're reviving Warner Animation because we have the ability, we have the money, we have the support, we have the creativity to do it.
When we were making Tiny Toons, we got called into the front office, Bob Daly, and he said, you know why you know what your job is here? I said, yes, it's to make Tiny Toons the greatest cartoon show, that's being made. No, that is not your job. And so McCurdy said, oh, just to make Warner Brothers successful and make money for Warner. No, that is not your job. Your job is to keep Steven Spielberg happy.
It was also a unique time in animation because Disney and Warner Brothers were pouring money at each of them
Right.
to compete. They were until the Disney split off with their Disney Channel, and then Warner Brothers had to come out with the WB.
Yeah.
Then the budgets got a little more constrained
Yeah.
on both sides. But that was a special moment in time. It was a Camelot.
I mean, that's the way it is, you have, everybody talks about the Disney animation renaissance of the 90s, and for a while there, it was really great, from '89 with Little Mermaid up till, I'd say around 2000. They began to lose their focus, I felt, a little bit with Tarzan and stuff like that, but they had a really good run, and we had a really good run for roughly the same time. And things change, executives come and go, and money dries up, and people say, well, we've had enough of that, but that's the thing. That's why a Peanuts strip runs for like 40 or 50 years, because you've got one guy responsible. You have a lot of people at Warner Brothers working really hard on shows and characters they really love, but at the end of the day, it's not really our call to keep the show going. It's whatever the big guys feel they need.
All right, we got time for one more, 3-minute marker.